Hello, everybody, and welcome to Four Questions with Jeff. It's another Tuesday, and it's 7:30 p.m., and I want to welcome everybody to Four Questions with Jeff. As usual, I'm going to wait a few minutes before I get started and let folks start joining me on the Facebook Live. Today, we're going to talk about some important things, and that is the county judge's order to wear face masks. We're going to talk about fake antibody testing. We're going to talk about early voting and the actual election day, and then my thank you for the week. So just come on and join us. And remember, if you have questions or concerns, you want to talk about anything, now is the time for you to get those questions together. From the last week to this week, it is very important that we exercise our right to vote, that we have the most up-to-date information. And remember, we're not trying to scare anyone. The only thing we're trying to do is give you the information you need so you can keep yourself and your family safe. So we're going to wait a few minutes, and then we will add the actual four questions with Jeff, which is going to be more of a conversation today than it is questions. Just going to talk about things that are going on, some hot topics that's going on in the news today. So this is Four Questions with Jeff. There's many ways that you can get involved in the campaign. You can go to my website at www.voteforjeff.com. That's going to post up here just a few minutes. www.voteforjeff.com, where you can donate to the campaign. Tomorrow is a very, very important deadline for this quarter. And I'd like to just show folks that I have the support that I need in order to win this race. So if you have time, donate $4, donate $20, donate $25, whatever you can to the campaign. I would surely appreciate any assistance that you can have. But there's not just monetary, because I know that folks are hurting right now, being laid off from work or not working their full hours. But there's other ways. We're gonna be phone banking because we can't go door to door knocking on people's door and actually putting them at risk. So maybe you can donate some time. 4 minutes, 4 hours, 4 days, whatever you have, in order to reach out to your neighbors and friends. Just ask folks to assist with this campaign. So that's what we're doing as far as helping me with my campaign and with this very important deadline that's coming up. Okay. So we're just going to wait just a few more minutes, and then we'll get started with Four Questions with Jeff. And like today, like I said, today is going to be more of a conversation than it is the questions that we normally ask. I have my family here with me again, as usual. My wife is making sure we're doing okay with the video and the sound, and my son is actually the videoing, and got other son making sure everything is nice in the way it's supposed to be, and Jason will be here in just a little bit to help take pictures and everything. So this is Four Questions with Jeff. And the first thing we're going to talk about is what most people are calling a second wave of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus. Well, I was listening to Dr. Fauci as he was testifying before Congress today. And he said it's not a second wave. This is still the first wave. We haven't got out of the first wave yet. And his suggestions are the same as they have been, the same as what the guidelines are for the Harris County Public Health Services. And that is that we should social distance, we should wash our hands, we should cover our cough. A lot of people are upset, or I've seen posts and things like that, because the county judge and commissioner's court today voted to extend the mask order through August the 26th. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything to you as an individual, but it does mean something to all those businesses that are struggling. So what I'm asking you to do is, if you don't have to go anywhere, stay home. If you have a problem with wearing a mask, don't go anywhere, stay home. If you are going to go to a business, understand that if you go in that business and you're caught in that business, then that business can be fined up to $1,000 for every person that is in the business. I'm not asking you to wear a mask for your own safety. I'm asking you to wear masks now for the sake of the businesses that have been hurting for months as a result of this COVID-19 coronavirus. So if you don't want to wear a mask for any other reason, if you go to your favorite establishment, you go to Home Depot, you go to Lowe's, you go to Chick-fil-A, wherever you go, make sure you wear the mask, not for yourself, but wear the mask for that business. It's amazing to me that I hear on a daily basis that I don't want to wear a mask because because it's going to harm me. I'm breathing in toxins and things like this. I just want you to think about this, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. And that is that doctors and nurses for years have been wearing these masks day in and day out. They perform 8 surgeries and they have those masks on. So my only question to you is, how can it be harmful to you if these doctors and nurses have been wearing these masks for all of these years and nothing has happened to them? That's the only thing that I'm asking you to think about. So when you hear these things and you see these things on social media and stuff like that, I really want you to just think about what it is that you're reading, what you're saying, and do it not for yourself, but do it for others. Because I wear a mask. I'm a healthy 50-year-old man. I wear a mask because I'm out there in the public and I don't want to bring home anything to my family. If you're a young person, healthy, it's not you that you have to worry about as much as you have to worry about the people that you're going to be surrounded around or around. So just make sure that we're taking care of each other. If you don't want to take care of yourself, at least take care of others. The other thing is that I saw an article today talking about fake antibody tests. And this is real, that anytime that you have a pandemic, you have an issue or anything like that, you're going to have people that are going to try to take advantage of you. And when I say take advantage of you, that's just that. They don't necessarily, they're not doing it because they want to hurt you with the antibody test. They're doing it because they want your information. They want your social security number. They want your Medicare, Medicaid information. They want your date of birth. They want that information so they can steal your identity. So remember that if there's an antibody test at home or anything like that, it has to be FDA approved. And if you know anything about the Food and Drug Administration and or any other government entity, the wheels turn slow. So for there to be an antibody test out there today, right now, that you can do at home, all you got to do is go to the FDA website, check it out, make sure that it's legit before you use it, and you're not giving out any information. If you want an antibody test, contact your doctor's office or go to the FDA website to find out and get a list of places where you can get that antibody test. Just somebody popping up a tent saying free antibody test, more likely than not, it's some type of fraud or something involved in that. So let's not partake in those types of things. And knowing about the antibodies, that's something that we'll come up with next. But right now, they're trying to come up with a vaccine for COVID-19, the coronavirus. Okay? If you didn't know, early voting is going on right now. Early voting is going on right now. And who's on the ballot? You can go to readyharris.org, readyharris.com. Go to readyharris.com, get your sample ballot, find out who's on the ballot, do your homework. Make sure it's somebody that you know about. The ballot is very short because it's a primary runoff, meaning that neither of those people got 50% of the vote. So now they are in a runoff. And it was supposed to happen in May, but because of the COVID-19, it's been pushed back till this July the 14th. But you can vote early, June 29th, which was yesterday, through the 2nd, and then again July the 5th through July the 10th. You can vote early. I say vote early and skip the lines. You know, on July the 14th, there's going to be a lot of people that are voting. It's too late for you to get a mail-in ballot, but if you got a mail-in ballot, I'm encouraging you to go ahead and fill out that mail-in ballot now. Fill out the mail-in ballot now, and then go ahead and send it in. Don't wait until the deadline. It's important that you got the mail-in ballot, you fill it out, sign it, follow all the instructions, put it in the envelope, and send it in. You need one stamp, just one. Put a forever stamp on there and send it in as soon as possible. Don't wait. So once again, the early voting for the July 14th runoff is June 29th, which was yesterday, through July the 2nd, and then again July the 5th through July the 10th. The times vary, so just go on to readyharris.com and you can find out where your polling, where early voting location is, where you can vote on election day, and those things like that. So readyharris.com. Oh, .org. Okay. Okay. So readyharris.org is if you want to get tested for COVID-19, the coronavirus. So you can go to readyharris.org. You can click on the COVID-19 section, and then it will tell you what you need to do in order to get tested. So readyharris.org for to be tested, and then harrisvotes.com is for your voting registration, or figure out where your polling location is, and early voting. So who do I want to thank today? And this is a hard thank you, but I want to thank the leadership of Harris County for making those hard decisions, those decisions that most people will call them names and say that they're overreaching and those things like that. I think that it's very, 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 very important to thank those folks that have to make those hard decisions. It's a thankless job, so I'm going to thank them today. I always believe something that my mom told me is that she wanted her roses before she died, and I make sure that I do that. And I want to thank them for their service. Not everybody agrees with the things that they're saying to do, but you know what? It's very, 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 very important that you understand that, these decisions don't come lightly, and that they're putting your interests ahead of their own, and they're tough decisions. So I want to thank the leadership of Harris County for making those tough decisions and actually trying to keep the community safe. All right. The last thing before I get any questions is this holiday coming up is the 4th of July, Independence Day, the birth of the country. I want y'all to understand that we need to understand that there's a lot of things going on those holidays. You have to worry about pets. You have to worry about our veterans who are suffering from PTSD. I understand that we all want to celebrate, but it's very traumatic for your pets. It's very traumatic for your veterans. So you just need to make sure that you're cognizant of that when you're celebrating. The other thing is this. For some reason, people like to shoot guns in the air. Science tells us that what goes up must come down. That means that if you're shooting a gun in the air, then that means that the bullets they have to come down. They're not going to come straight down back at you, but they can come down on me, on my family, or you and your family. Last year we had a young lady that was struck by a bullet. It makes absolutely no sense to shoot a gun in the air. So I'm asking you to remember, no celebratory gunfire. Do not shoot a weapon in the air. We're not animals. We should know that it's wrong to shoot a gun in the air because that lead is going to come back down. So I'm asking you, remember, do not perform any celebratory gunfire. All right? That's 4 questions with Jeff. Any questions that you have, I'll take those questions now. And this has been 4 questions with Jeff. Remember, you can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on Twitter, Instagram. You can definitely be part of the campaign. Make sure you donate. I'll take $4 before the 31st. How about that? But any questions that you have, we'll take those questions now. And again, this is 4 questions with Jeff. Remember, folks, even if you're watching this later on, you can actually share and post the video later on. You can have your own watch party later as well. If okay, so the question was about mail-in ballots. If you have not already sent in and requested a mail-in ballot for this particular election, no. But if you are, if you are going to be out of county, if you're 65 or older, if you're in jail, if you are, if you are have an illness or some type of disability, you can request a mail-in ballot for the November election, which I'm on the ballot, Jeff McGowen. You can get more information at voteforjeff.com. But remember that you can, if you have those, any one of those four things, you can request a mail-in ballot. Okay. So seeing massive changes being enacted all over the county. What policies do you plan to change once you're once you're elected? My main focus, and thanks for the question, Ruby. My main focus is community-oriented policing. The people are the police, and the police are the people. My main change is to actually give the community a voice and let them have a say in how they're actually being policed. That is the main change that I'm going to have. I'm going to have an open door policy. I'm going to make sure that I'm having meetings with the community and that I'm not afraid. Just like I'm having this conversation right here today, I plan on having conversations with the community once elected. Thanks, Michelle, for voting on yesterday. And I have not voted yet, but I do plan on voting before the weekend. Thank you, Ann and Kurt. But thank you both for sending in your mail-in ballot already. And it's just that simple. This is practice for the general election, is the way I see it. It's not practice for those 6 or 8 folks that are on my ballot, but it's practice. And the reason why I say that is because you're going to have a long ballot in November. And I don't want y'all to forget about me on November the 3rd. So that's why I keep coming to you every week with 4 questions with Jeff. I want you to remember who I am, know that I'm a person for the people, and that I'm not afraid to get in front of a camera, answer the hard questions and things like that. But this mail-in ballot, or the ballot that you're going to have in November, is going to be very long. All the judges that are going to be on there, all of the county folks, but then there's federal as well, including your House races and your Senate, and also the president itself. I tell folks all the time, make sure you vote down ballot. Make sure you vote all the way down. Remember, there's no straight ticket voting, but don't leave any of those spaces blank. Make sure you go down there to precinct 4 and vote for Jeff McGowen. The sheriff's on the ballot. The DA's on the ballot. Commissioners are on the ballot. Not all of them, but some. These are the people who affect you on a daily basis. The constable is on the ballot. So make sure that you are actually getting out there and voting and getting to know who your folks are. I've already printed out my sample ballot. I know who's on my sample ballot. I know what my precinct is. I know who represents me. And you should know that information too. All I'm asking is for you to make sure that those people are representing you and what it is that you want in your community. This is not an election that we should sit out. We should all get out there and we should all vote at this election at this time. It's very important. Any more questions?
How do you plan on implementing more diversity training with the precinct, and what would be one program that would implement?
Well, we already have, and I'm not making any excuses, but we already have diversity training. We have implicit bias training. We have cultural diversity training. We have that training in place. But you know what? I think the biggest problem is how you actually do the training. Is it something that you can get on a video and they can watch it on a computer, or is it actually some type of training where you are actually having to face those biases that you have? That's the difference in the type of training that I'm talking about bringing to Precinct 4. And we've heard of the issues as far as biases that people have in law enforcement. When I was on the panel just a couple of weeks ago, one of the questions was, is there issues within law enforcement as far as race and this and that. And the other. Yeah, it's in every job. It's in every job. But we do what we can to get whatever problems that we're having. We try to address those problems and try to get rid of it. So I plan on bringing more scenario based. I want to get to the root of it. One of the things I can tell you how I know this works is by being a RAD instructor. And RAD is rape aggression defense. It's a self-defense program that we put women through. It's free of charge through the agency that I work for. But in every class that I've ever taught, in every scenario that we've gone through with the women at the end, what I noticed is that we have survivors in each one of those. So if we can tap into those types of feelings, then we will find out who's who, and then we will actually be able to address those issues. Not everybody that has some type of bias is prejudice or vice versa, but we need to address those biases, that implicit biases that we're raised with. So we need to do something about that. That it?
We have a question. Do you anticipate a decline in officers as the fight against police brutality opens old wounds?
So that's a good question, Ruby, and I just want to know. You remember the conversation we had when we first met, that you didn't like the police, and that we became friends as a result of that. And every police officer you've met since then, you tend to like them, which I'm glad. But this is my thing. Being part of the largest sheriff's agency in the state of Texas, every day working in background and recruiting, every day I know that we're short officers, that we do things shorthanded on a daily basis. And that's not fair to you as a citizen. Now, I will tell you that I do believe that as far as this defunding, I've said it last month, and I know last week, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. I think that word, or that buzzword, defund the police, has been it's not the word that they're trying to use. I think they want to revamp or retool or re something. So instead of D, I think it should be re. That's the first thing. D, change it to re, and refund. Maybe we need to refund something. But I will tell you right now that they could cut $1,000 off of the Harris County Sheriff's Office budget, and guess what? The sheriff's office will then overrun, because if you look around Harris County, it's growing, but the number of police officers that we have to cover those areas are not growing. So I think that everything needs to be the funds need to be allocated for everything. The sheriff's office has the largest mental health hospital in the nation, not the state, in the nation. That's not the sheriff's office job. So what you should be asking is, why aren't your state legislators pushing for funding for state hospitals? We need one here in Harris County, if Harris County has the largest mental health hospital in the state and in the nation. So why aren't the state people pushing for more mental health, instead of us as police officers running out there arresting mental health people and putting them in the jail? So do I think that you need to defund or reduce the budget of the local law enforcement? I'm going to say no. But they need to do, on the state level, they need to do a better job at putting the funds where the funds need to be, as far as building hospitals for mental illness, taking care of the homeless. We're doing that in local law enforcement. Why do we have a homeless outreach team? Because there's nobody else out there doing it. So some of these social programs, yes, they need to be moved out of law enforcement and be put in the proper place. But you're not going to be a social worker going to a domestic violence call. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it because it's not safe. It's not safe for me as a police officer. Whenever we go on a domestic violence call, guess what I hear? We need 2 officers. And even at that, we still can get injured during a domestic call. So we just need to have a conversation. So for all the activists that are out there, all the people who I've invited to sit next to me and let's have a conversation, I'm going to invite you again. I'm going to ask you, if you want to have a conversation about defunding the police, reallocating resources, or whatever the case may be, come sit right there. and then we can join and we can have a conversation so that we can talk about it, because that's what I'm all about. I don't want to tell you how to police your community. You know how you want your community policed. You know what's good for your community. So let's sit down and have a conversation. All right. All right. This is 4 Questions with Jeff. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. Remember, we'll be back on next week at 7:30 with 4 more questions with Jeff. And maybe we will have a conversation. And hey, God said the same. I'll have someone sitting next to me and we'll have a conversation about how we can police the community better. This is 4 Questions with Jeff. I thank you. You can see me at www.voteforjeff.com, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can also go to my website. You can make a donation. If I can get $4 from 10 people tonight, I'd be happy. If I got 100, I'd be even more happy than that. Make sure you share, share. All of the information I'm giving you is pertinent to you, not necessarily about politics, but I want you to be safe in your home and with your family. So www.voteforjeff.com. I'm Jeff McGowen, candidate for Harris County Constable Precinct 4, and I'd appreciate your vote. Thank you.